Welcome to Generation Dragons episode 48. Steve, how are you?
My man.
Ding, ding.
Cheers. Dink.
Dink. Your house looks a little different.
I'm visiting my sisters in Kingston right now. Because I just snuck into my nephew's room to do a little recording with you, catch up, chit-chat, sneak a few beers. In this case, ciders.
Yep. You can do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Well, Steve, today we wanted to get together, with the old games of football that happened, the Superbowl or Super Salad or whatever it's called, happened the past couple weekends ago. We wanted to get together and talk about our top 5 sports games of past generations. As you can see behind me, I've got a few, like Excite Bike.
Nice setup.
And ice hockey.
Excite Bike. I think I even put that in honorable mentions. No, I didn't. But I thought about it.
And it's a nice little special edition Dreamcast Sports, Sega Sports.
You really did. I see rugby. I see NHL. Ice hockey, that is. I see NHL up top. Rivals. Nice.
So, Ed.
Of course. Did I see 2K?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. NFL.
Nice. I really like it.
NFL 2K and NHL 2K. So, anyway, Steve, like we were talking, we wanted to go through our top sports games. And behind us here, or behind me, are many of the top sports games that I personally think. But, yeah. How about you, Steve? Like, what kind of kicked it off? We'll go down from. We don't have a specific number 1 to number 5, but
no, I kind of lumped a bunch in, and I figured we'd just talk to a few of them.
Yeah, man.
Really, what started this is I kind of wanted to do a salute to Madden, but it's a few weeks late, and we already did say something in one of our other shows. And then the Super Bowl came along, and I'm like, let's do a sports theme this time. See what we can come up with.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, right? We talked about it in the past, but Madden's been around. The game's been around since the 80s, all the way through.
I believe
40-ish games. 40-ish games that were out on it. Like game changing at some points. Now depends on who you talk to. Have stayed pretty stagnant lately because they have no competition. But anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. So, Steve, shoot one off, man. What's one of your top 5 sports games?
Just before I go into that, just a quick question on the technical side of this. Is your screen doing the side-by-side?
Yes, it is.
As mine is not.
On.
And I just fixed it. Perfect. All right, that's better. All right, back into it. I'm going to start with probably a game I played the death out of, religiously almost daily with a pal of mine, and that would be NHL 2001 on the PS1. Man, that game, every day, we'd be sitting with beers after work, and it'd be wee hours at night half the time before I'd realize what time it was and be done. And this is definitely pre being married and having kids, of course, but love that game to death, to the point where I remember when I first met my wife and I went over to visit. She had a little get-together with some of her friends and their boyfriends, so guys and girls separated, and they had NHL there. And I jumped on, and being a crazy pro at the time, I scored a goal within seconds. And I went over and I punched the guy next to me, and they're like, Kirsty, your boyfriend's a little aggressive. And I'm like, but it's hockey!
Good stuff.
Good memories there.
Good stuff. Well, talking about. So for me, in that time frame, would have been NHL 2K on the Dreamcast. That. Just the way it looked, it was smooth. It wasn't blocky like PlayStation was. It was nice and smooth to an extent. Obviously, it looked smoother. It was one of the first games where you could knock off the water bottle from the back of the net. I remember that.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, trying to do that so much. And actually, for our American listeners, there's probably going to be a lot of hockey reference for Steve and I in this one. But yeah, so I mean, for me, again, NHL 2K on the Dreamcast, 2K Sports then ended up creating some of the best games. After the fact, when Sega dropped and Visual Concepts went about and started making games, and they're still making NBA 2K. At least I'm pretty sure they're still on NBA 2K games. The 2K, like I said, 2K series, football games. that's what was keeping Madden alive too, because people would either play 2K or Madden, and then Madden bought the EA, partnered with the NFL.
That was a sad day, actually. It instantly killed competition.
Exactly. And the 2K sports, man, I remember 2K football was one of my favorites on the Xbox. And then it was like 2001 or 2002, and then Madden got the rights. But anyways, yeah, so that's for me. I mean, and then I would align with that. So again, I was referring to the 2K sports, the NFL 2K games that were on the Dreamcast as well. 2K, 2K1, and 2K2. Again, some of the best sports games, especially at that time frame before they started introducing skill sticks and hip sticks and all that stuff. Yeah, that's kind of
when I dropped it a little bit. I'd still play it, but I wasn't as passionate about it once they did that. I found the 2000 was kind of the good mix between the new way of playing the hockey game and the old, turbo button mashing and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely awesome. I totally forgot about the Dreamcast one. I'm glad you brought that up.
Well, and all right, see, but next one up for you, good sir. Next one up for you.
I'm gonna say, let's see. Look at my list here. Oh, Track and Field 2 for the NES. Wow. Back in the day, or late 80s, I played that game to death with my friends. Competition. We'd be sitting there and hit the buttons. I'd take a battery and just go like this over the AB button, trying to get the guy's feet to go faster, or whatever sport we're playing that you had to button mash. And played that game to death. I think it was. I loved the pole vault, the triple jump. God, the diving sucked, but I would just take I had the NES Advantage joystick at the time, which my friends wouldn't let me use if we played together because I had turbo. Yeah. But I would just go like this with the joystick, and you'd do crazy things coming off the dive, and I'd just see all the points go. I had no idea what I was doing, but man, did I play that game to death.
So talking about NES games, the one NES game that I played to death was this bad boy right here, ice hockey. And ice hockey was definitely one of the games that I played the crap out of.
You're going to be the skinny guy, a fat guy, and a medium guy, if I remember right.
Yeah, that's right.
Fat guys are bouncing. I always called the skinny guy Wayne Gretzky, and then the fat guy, I think I called him Ron Extall, even though he was a forward, not a goalie.
Yeah, you'd get the big scrums going with the big fighting each other. Yeah, good times. Yeah, that's it. The skinny guys bounce off the fat guys. Yeah, it was fun. I don't know how many hours I sunk into that game.
Probably a ton.
Growing up,
it was where it was at back then.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm going to jump into the next one here. So for my next one is actually probably one of the best and still best rugby games that are out there, and it's this one right here, Jonah Lamu rugby, and it was it did a lot of the countries, not a lot of countries. It had some of the countries like the All Blacks in Australia, and then it did a lot of the Premier Cups and stuff like that. So a lot of the leagues that are out there. Still,
what year would that have been?
This was. I'll tell you in a second. 2007, 2006, maybe. Mm-hmm. But the rugby games just haven't been the same since. So it was a great game to get onto, and the developers are based out of Australia and New Zealand. So where it should be. But yeah, there just hasn't been a great rugby game since that one.
What killed that rugby game? I kind of agree with you. Just not what killed it, but what happened to the good?
The good. I don't know. I think it's just because there wasn't enough. It's not picked up like hockey. It's not picked up like football, basketball, FIFA, stuff like that, right? So
it's too bad.
It's super popular down under and kind of well, it is popular in Europe or in the UK, but then it's not enough to entice Canadians and Americans to play. We're not big rugby nations, right? So
it could be. It's too bad.
Yeah. But, it's just too bad.
I'm going to mention another NES one since it's a game I actually won a tournament in at the local mall where I grew up in Canada. But Blades of Steel.
Oh, Blades of Steel.
Blades of Steel.
Love that game. Played that to death. I always had to be Montreal just because I hated Toronto. And But yeah, that game I played every day almost when I was a kid. We would be outside playing street hockey or whatever, come in, play more hockey inside on the NES in the basement, and then back outside in the dark playing like Hog or something around the net. But it was Blades of Steel like crazy. And I went to the mall with my mom or something, and they had like all these NES and TVs lined up in tables, and you could just enter to play. And just I had some like experience at the game. I blew away everyone, and that I don't remember like the tournament was only like right then and there. You just won, I think, like stickers and things like that. It wasn't anything huge, but my little group, I kicked ass and won. So claim to fame.
That's it. That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, one, and I think you're gonna kind of balk at me for this because you kind of mentioned it earlier. I was NHL 2006, 2007.
PS2?
No, PS3 360 transition period. Yeah.
Okay.
When they brought in the skill sticks. And it did change the game because of how you're moving your stick.
Completely did, yeah.
How you could take your shots, how you could deke, all that stuff. So
it's actually, I'd say it's more natural.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like the stick flow and that, but that was kind of like, it changed the game up so much for me that it put me off it.
Yeah.
And I'd still play it. I just wasn't as passionate as I was with the other.
100%. And I mean, I would go and jump between, like, it would be every 2 or 3 years that I'd buy a new hockey.
Yeah, I'm the same boat.
And
I usually would pick up like the last year version just because it was like $15 instead of $70.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that's it for me on that one. Again, sorry, American listeners, but it's going to be very hockey oriented.
It has been so far. Although I got a couple on here that aren't hockey. So
yeah, I mean, another good one for me is Excite Bike.
Hell yeah!
That franchise, Excite Bike, and then on the Wii, Excite Truck, Excite Bike 64, and all that good stuff. I've always enjoyed. They were always, I don't guess you'd consider them sports games, or are they racing games? Are they sports racing? Anyways,
I still consider them sports.
Yeah,
but racing game, I see it's kind of like different, but it's still sports. All right, I'm going to jump into one here that I loved to death. First game I ever played on the NES. I have this as an honorable mention, but I'm going to mention anyway. But Pro Wrestling on the NES in 1986, and I think I played it, and it was a Famicom I played, not a NES, because I had no idea what it was, and the NES wasn't out yet. But I had this buddy whose dad traveled all the time and brings stuff back from Japan, and I didn't even know what it was then, but I just remember playing that game at his place and be like, this is amazing, this is way better than my Atari. Like, oh my god. Then like I'd always be Starman, and then that stupid Amazon dude that would like eat people's head and blood would fly off. But it was a good game.
Oh, that's funny.
What you got next?
I mean, I know any of the Jams Blitz hits games. So
any of the hits, I agree there. Those are good.
Yeah, NHL hits or NFL Blitz, and then I put NBA Jam into that mix as well because it's probably
can't go wrong with that. Welcome to NBA Jam. He's on fire.
Yeah.
I'll add that to the video. It seems so awesome.
Welcome to NBA Jam. He's on fire.
Yeah, I mean the NFL Blitz, like just playing the midway games, like jumping into the arcade or playing it on consoles. Same kind of thing. You catch on fire if you're doing so well. You would just demolish guys, break legs, just everything, right? So.
This is a perfect segue to my favorite sports game of all time.
Yeah.
I think you know where I'm going with it.
I think I have a good idea. I think I have a good idea. Go ahead, Steve.
I wish we were recording at home because I had a whole bunch of stuff I wanted to set up and show for this part, but C'est la vie, it is what it is. But Mutant League football, man, that's where it's at. And this is something Clint and I challenge each other from time to time for a trophy, which I don't have here. I do have the trophy at my house, but sadly, Clinton won last time. It should be in his house, but I'll hold it for him for now. And I'm even thinking of making a belt. But that's a game. I prefer playing it on the Genesis over anything. It's simpler, and I just crush at that game simply because I played to death. But we played it on the Wii, the Switch. And it's a great game, fun, just silly. You can bribe the ref. You can do these crazy plays, like blow your players up, and even on a related note, there's Mutant League hockey. Yes, more hockey, but you could check the guys through the ice. You could chainsaw people running by. It was just great. But Mutant League football, great game.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. That's a perfect end, buddy. I think that's our favorite. That's probably one of the best games. It's too bad it lost. It's lost its legs underneath it. I was reading an article about it. It sounded like EA didn't want to kind of mud the waters with the relationship they had with Madden. So the company, the developers of Mutant League, was purchased by EA and let them make all the stuff and so on and so forth. And then Madden started getting bigger. Mutant League 2, the TV series didn't take off the way they wanted it, and then it unfortunately ended when it started.
That's why they had to change the name. So that's why it's not called Mutant League Football now. In the newer ones, was it League of Mutant Football or something
Mutant
Football League?
Yeah, Mutant Football League, MFL.
Yeah, and that's it. So, but great game. It's silly. It's not serious. Good fun.
Yeah.
But that's probably a good place to wrap it up. I'm just going to quickly mention one honorable mention because those that are in the know, Bo knows.
Bo knows baseball. Bo knows football. Bo knows basketball too. Bo knows tennis?
Bo knows running.
No.
Bo knows cycling.
Bo knows weight. Bo, you don't know diddly.
Been Super Tecmo Bowl back in the day. I think it was early 90s, 91, I want to say. But if you selected the LA Raiders with Bo Jackson, you're unstoppable. He actually was the fastest player in the game. So, but great game, but you could cheat. If you played with Bo and the developer or designer, whoever it was, purposely made him like that.
Oh, yeah.
It was perfect timing because he was playing both football and professional baseball.
Right.
And there was a whole Nike ad game called Bo Knows. And so everything in the ads he knew how to do best. So, Bo Knows. Bo knows baseball. Bo knows sports. Bo knows shoes. Bo knows milk. Whatever it was.
Oh, my. Oh, the 90s. Anywho, Steve. Anywho. Well, good sir. Oh, my goodness. I didn't even get to finish my beer in time.
Yeah, man. I started my second cider.
Dink. So good to see you, Steve. As always, great chat. I hope everyone enjoyed. And also, if you've listened to us all the way through, thank you very much. Or watched us all the way through. Thank you very much. Again, if you're new to this channel, make sure you click subscribe and follow us for some good stuff. There could be an unboxing going up very shortly. Steve,
I know what it is.
You and I might have to talk about. No, it's not. It's not even the thing you think it is. It's actually.
You got to tell me more then.
It's the.
But we'll save it for offline.
Yeah, we'll save it for offline. All right, everybody. Toodaloo, and
as always, Keep collecting.
Keep gaming.
And
Keep safe.
We kind of got it that time.
Close.
That's about it.
Mention the football. Okay, cool.
Mention the football.
The football.
Okay. I'm good.
All right.
You just made me think of Superstore.
Yeah.
Cloud9.
Yeah. Welcome to episode. Oh my god, I fucked up.
I was just about to take a drink.
That was a good thing you didn't though, because it could have been bad news bears. Cool. Welcome to